and welcome to episode 3 of Tales from the Midnight Diary. My name's Gemma and I'm the designer, dyer and tutor behind the Midnight Diary, from which this channel and podcast take their names. If you're new here, you are very welcome. Settle down, grab a cup of something and let's have a crafty chat. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Lovely to see you as always. I hope you've had a good week. Right here on this weekly podcast, if you are new, I share all sorts of things creative, crafty that I have been up to the past week or so. Typically knitting and crochet, but often including other things as well. I quite like baking, sewing, etc. So you're going to get a little bit of everything here. So it's really nice to be sat down chatting with you again. It barely feels like 5 minutes since the last one because I'm back to a weekly schedule again, which is super cool. I'm wearing absolutely nothing knitted whatsoever. It's been such a glorious day here. It has been, to look out the window you'd think it was summer. You can hear lawnmowers going, you can hear birds singing, and then you step out your front door and freeze all your bits off. Yeah, it was definitely looked warmer than it was, but in my house, particularly my living room where I do all of my photography, it's south facing, it gets really warm. So summer frock it is, and just chuck on a cardi for tonight. So there you go. Let's see, it's not really that interesting what I'm wearing, certainly not this week. With regards to finished objects, nope, nada, none, nil. I'd really hoped to have one for you, but yeah, I don't. Simple as that. I genuinely thought I might have finished this next project by the time I was recording. Certainly if I was recording tomorrow. However, that absolutely definitely wasn't to be. So the first work in progress I have to talk about is the Eliza tee, which I have been crocheting for a while now. It is from the book On the Hook by Verity Castledine, also known as Truly Hooked, and I'm working it in Verity's own yarn. So I was getting quite worried that I think I got to about here and I'd run out of the first skein of yarn, and I was getting quite worried that I wouldn't have enough to do the entire top, because I'm actually crocheting this on a much tighter gauge than the pattern calls for, because the person I'm crocheting this for preferred the fabric being a little bit denser and not quite so holey as crochets often want to be. So I sort of ground to a halt and thought, well, what do I do? And as luck would have it, I knew that Verity had just received some yarn back from one of her stockists, which happened to include some skeins of Riverbed. This is Riverbed. So I messaged her and I said, do you still have them? If so, can I have 1, 2 if you've got them? And she said, yeah, sure, I'm doing a bundle offer. Do you want 3? And I went, oh, it's a shame to leave one behind. Yeah, sure, of course. I thought if I don't need the third one, I can always give it to my friend who I'm doing this for, and she can knit socks because she wants me to teach her to knit socks. So of course I'm gonna do that. So I thought, yeah, great. So I'm waiting for it to arrive. I finish the first skein of yarn after the Great Snoscumber debacle of last week. I still haven't managed to frog that, by the way. It put up a hell of a fight, so I've just thrown it in a corner because I'm a mature adult. So I've decided instead to crack on with something else. So I finished the first skein, and then I thought, well, I best wait until the other skeins arrive so I can start to alternate them. I'm pretty certain they're a different dye lot, and I don't want there to be a visible stripe. So I thought if I alternate them with the second skein and sort of fade them in, then it won't be so noticeable. So they arrive beautifully packaged, 3 skeins of gloriousness. Look at those ball bands, they are so jazzy. And I'm thrilled and I'm really excited. So I skipped merrily upstairs to my craft room to get the other skein of Riverbed that I'd started this top in. So I had 2 initially. 1 skein's finished, 1 skein's ready to be worked. And I look at it and go, oh. Because what I have is not Riverbed. What I have is Pebble Dash. And this, I'm sure you can agree, is just a teeny bit different to Riverbed. Why the confusion? Well, it turns out my lovely friend Linda, who inspired this whole project, she did use Riverbed to crochet it in, and I somehow decided to buy Pebble Dash. I mean, there are similarities, but there are also fairly significant differences. So I leapt straight onto Verity's chatter group on Facebook, and I was like, I'm an idiot. And I told the whole story. Woe is me. Yeah. And luckily, my lovely friend Sophie came to the rescue. She happens to have a skein of Riverbed, no, Pebble Dash, died about the same time as my skeins were, and she was willing to swap. So these two are going off to the lovely Sophie. This one is going to my friend Helen to learn to make socks with, and the one that Sophie sent me has already arrived because she is a very good egg and very efficient. I'm still holding these, so sorry. Will be going into the top. So I was then on Wednesday night sitting there thinking a bit, you know, what shall I do? I should just do something else. I can't really start. And Julia, my friend, said to me, no, come on, wind up the skein and get going. So like a good girl, I did. And this is the result. So last time I showed this to you on the podcast, I was where that purple, let's pull the neck up so this, I was where that purple stitch marker is. So I've actually done quite a bit. That's quite a significant amount of progress. But yeah, the delay waiting for the yarn didn't help. And also it's a really good project. It's just round and round and round, but it doesn't seem to grow very quickly. And if I'm honest, there's been something else that's captured my eye over the past wee while. My Stephen. This is the Slip Stravaganza mystery make-along that I started back in September or October. You will remember when I said, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. Oh, whoops, I cast it on. Oopsie. Yeah, I picked, for some reason, after frogging the Snoscumber, or attempting to frog the Snoscumber, I picked this up and I just thought, I love this. I really love this. Although it looks terribly complicated, it's actually not. And so from last Sunday, after frogging the Snoscumber, I did from here all the way up to here. And it has grown so big that I now have it on 200 centimetre cables, and it basically takes up the lot. I've got something here, look, they're really clever. Can I get this to a point where I can show it to you? Probably not. Bear with me a moment. La-da-dee, da-da-da. Nothing to see here. It's like frogging the Snoscumber all over again, except for a little bit more calm. Not quite like last week. I'm sure none of you remember last week. None of you probably even noticed that I got just a little bit frustrated. I'm trying to have a cathartic frogging moment and it won't. You didn't notice, did you? This is called a cable connector. Genius name, does what it says on the tin, and basically you use it to connect two interchangeable cables together to give yourself a much longer cable. You can get shorter ones. I actually kind of wish I had a shorter one on here because it is a bit long and a bit of a pain, but it allows me to appreciate the full scale and gloriousness that is the Stephen West mystery shawl. Now, this is my first Stephen West pattern that I've ever done. It will not be my last, ladies and gentlemen. I know it will not. Because I just think they're so interesting and different in construction. I finally get what all the fuss is about. You know, everyone's going, oh, do Stephen West. Oh, he's brilliant. Oh, it's amazing. I'm like, I don't really get it. I mean, he's great. I'm not denying that his patterns look really interesting, but what is the fuss about? I'll tell you what the fuss is about. The fuss is this. This is what the fuss is about. The fuss is about the fact that he will take something normal and make it very much not normal. You know, I mean, who would think to do something like this? Honeycombs. Well, you could say, well, yeah, lots of people have thought to do honeycombs. There are honeycomb blankets and cushions. Yes, yes, yes. But look at the shape. And who would have thought to start a shawl at the widest point of getting smaller? And then to join like this. And then this. I mean, it's just so different. And it's interesting. And I think that as a creative person and as creative people, if you enjoy the fibre arts, doing something like that is really, really refreshing and really good for you. This isn't necessarily something I would have gone for originally. These definitely aren't the colours I would have picked. Veronique picked those. She's amazing. We're going to gloss over the fact they're all my own hand-dyed yarns, and yet I wouldn't have put them together. But it just works, and it's just a big bundle of happy. And so what if I never wear it? The process is so enjoyable. And to be honest, I spend more time making my things than I do wearing them because I'm not a great finisher. So yeah, I love it. And look, just spot what I did. The mohair dare. I did it. I dared to mohair. Yes, I did. I wasn't going to. And then this section, it goes contrast A, contrast B, contrast C, contrast A, contrast C, contrast B, contrast A. And I just thought, but it's an odd number, and this one, it needs to be something the same but different, something to tie it all together. So I have used this hot pink Debbie Bliss Angel. It was quite fun to do because I bought 2 balls. Magnus got the first one. Magnus quite likes mohair. Magnus quite likes expensive mohair silk. Magnus quite likes expensive mohair silk that costs £10 a ball, and he likes to do this to it. I'm not entirely sure what my puppy thought he was making. Perhaps a rather fetching wig. I could, ugly sister, anyone? I've got an opening. Yeah, so mohair dare. And I'm really thrilled with it. The only thing that went wrong is when you're doing these, you kind of have to count for the first row when you're setting up each section, because the little slip stitches move, so they're there and then it's there. And then after that, you don't have to concentrate. But I put one of my lot of slip stitches in the wrong place. I don't think you can even tell where I did it. You might just be able to tell there. So what I did, instead of frogging back 4 rows of mohair, because no, I dropped down the stitches that I'd done incorrectly, and I moved them, and I dropped the mohair stitches because obviously you're skipping 3. And so you've got the bars. You've still got the yarn to use. I actually dropped back and then re-picked them up, which was so much easier than ripping it all back and doing all that mohair again. And quite honestly, I was not about to do it again. This is about half of the wingspan it's going to be. It's about 450 stitches, and it ends up about 900 stitches with an I-cord bind off. So yeah, being able to drop down and fix my mistake was really useful, and I am going to be re-editing and remastering. I don't know, whatever the technical term is, my fixing your knit and purl stitches tutorial, and that will be coming down your way in the next couple of weeks. So do watch out for that. You can find my longer tutorials under the Midnight Dyery Night School playlist on my channel. My channel's organised into playlists, and you along with the podcast, the Project Bag podcast, and 2 Minute Tuesdays. And the mini skein vlogs are coming soon too. Woo. So yeah, that's my Stephen. That is not quite all the creative content I've got for you this week. I took a class this morning. An opportunity came up last minute to join in with Anna Nikiforovich's online class on waistcoat stitch and mosaic crochet, and I said yes please, and goodness am I glad I did, because look what I made. I did mosaic crochet. I did mosaic crochet. I made this in 2 hours. Anna taught me to do this, and now I want to make all the things. I want to make mittens, and I want to make bags, and I want to make cushions, and I want to make throws, and I want to make blankets. I love it. I'm just absolutely obsessed. I never have this experience in classes. I'm always the one that kind of doesn't quite get it, and particularly with crochet, I often end with one too many stitches. But oh my goodness, I just absolutely love it. Look at that. I I got it. And not only did I get it, but I whizzed ahead and I finished it before the others, before even my friend Linda, who's the crochet queen. Like, what? Oh, it was just brilliant. So thank you, Anna, for that. If you want to check out online classes, then do. They are actually a lot more accessible than you might think, thanks to the wonders of Zoom. Zoom, 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 zoom. That's it for creative content. I don't think I've had any relevant happy post, apart from obviously Sophie rescuing my backside, saving my booty with that skein of Pebble Dash, not Riverbed. But yeah, there is some other exciting news though that I really want to share with you, and I've been given permission to do this, which is super exciting. I have a day job, which is very exciting. The day job involves working with producers of yarn like myself, sometimes indie dyers, sometimes commercial companies that spin here in Britain, and sometimes independents, so single flock yarns such as Longcroft Longwools. And Ali, the accidental shepherdess, believe me, it can happen. You can become a shepherdess quite by accident. Has been sharing the lambing of her Longcroft girls on our Facebook and Instagram page for the day job. And so I've been having my inbox flooded with lamb spam, as she calls it, which is just wonderful. And she's given me permission to share this. So there are 6 ewes in lamb, 4 of whom the white Wensleydale girls have now lambed. They've had 2 lambs each, and there's a 50-50 split between boys and girls. So 4 little boys, 4 little girls, which is really exciting. And we are waiting on the black Wensleydale girls, Lovebug and Ladybug, to lamb. They are taking their sweet time. They all waited for the snow to go, which I think is very sensible. We were chatting about all things woolly in a meeting a few months ago, and she actually messaged me and said afterwards, and she said, I meant to say Lara is on my list of names for lambs, and would it be all right if I did name one of my lambs Lara? And I was just like, yes, of course. I mean, I don't have a monopoly on the name at all, but I just thought it was really kind and considerate of her to check with me, particularly as we work so closely together and I would have to be sharing Lara and her brothers and sisters and her cousins, you know, progress as they grow up. So I just thought that was really, really thoughtful. And then Lottie lambed first, and she had the most ginormous ram lamb, and then she had the daintiest, tiniest little ewe lamb, who has been named Little Lara. And I thought, and Ali has agreed, that I would share some lovely lamb footage here on my podcast so you can see some of Lara and her brother and cousin's adventures and what they get up to. So without any further ado, enjoy the lambs.
Morning, this is the Accidental Shepherdess lambing live. This is day 2 of lambing. Thought I'd show you Lottie. Now Lottie actually had her babies yesterday afternoon, and as you can see, that is, the big one is an enormous ram lamb. He is massive, and look at him in comparison to the dainty, dainty little girl. She's so small. That boy is a keeper. He is superb. Really, really, really good. So I'm most likely to keep him entire. And there they're going, having a look for a little drink. Bless them. Here they all are, out for the first time. Beautiful day, lots of grass, and boy are they really, really happy. Here we have Lottie, I think that is, yeah, it's Lottie. And that is Longfellow, and then down here is the absolutely delightful little Lara having a snooze after she's had a drink. Morning, it's Lambing Live from Longcroft Longwools, day 7, can you believe? And here we are with the 3 ewes out with most of their lambs, really confident that they've now bonded well with them and they've got the benefit of being out in the sunshine but also able to come back indoors and get out of that wind, which is a bit brisk today. Let's have a look. Oh, hello, 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 hello. Where are we off to? Lively one. Here we have one of Lottie's lambs. No, sorry, Lollipop's lambs, little ewe lamb. And that is Luna side on. She is so cute, so cute. Update with Lady Jane. Definitely much happier. Definitely now feeding both. I'm down to 2 bottles a day. Just really just to keep him full. But happy that that's going well. Yep, definitely going well. So, speak to you soon. Bye. Good afternoon. It's Saturday afternoon. It's Longcroft Longwools here. Just giving you a brief update and a lovely picture of these glorious lambs out in the sunshine. And here we are. Here we've got a couple having a really good drink from Mum. How lovely is that? Who have we got down here? Oh, yeah, this is little Lara investigating my wheelbarrow.
Aren't they just adorable? It's just such a joy that I get to do this as part of my day job. How lucky am I? And it's also becoming part of my night job at the Midnight Dyery. I think I might have mentioned this last week, but I have actually been asked to dye some of this year's yarn from last year's fleece. So over the next few months, I will be dyeing yarn for Longcroft Longwools. It won't be sold through the Midnight Dyery, it will be sold through the day job because they are the stockists of Longcroft Longwools, but every skein sold really does make a difference to this single flock of rare breed sheep. It's a no-kill flock that she has the Wensleydales, she has 2 Herdwick girls who are absolutely bananas and just brilliant. She has some alpacas and she has, I always say this wrong, Ouessants. Little sheep who have small man syndrome. They are just brilliant. So yeah, and there's another single flock yarn in the shop as well, which I've also dyed some of before, and that's Marley yarns. And again, all the money they make from the yarns goes to supporting these no-kill rare breed flocks. So do go and check those out. I will drop a link just down there. And talking of Lara's, I actually told a Porky just then I have had a little bit of happy post. I ordered 2 patches, one of which I can't show you because it's a present for someone, but this is the other one. So this is from Eris Sapple, who you will know from where I've shared things like this before. My patches from my patch bag. And she does personalised ones. And I saw this and I just thought it's so pretty. It looks like forget-me-nots and snowflakes and it's blue. And so I ordered one with Lara's name on for her birthday. So this is going to go on my patch bag, which I'm very excited about. And the other piece of happy post I had was from a new to me maker. I mean, I've been aware of her for a while. I actually know her through my sip and stitch nights, and do you know what, they are such a great place to meet new creative people and get ideas. She's also a terrible enabler and has inspired me to do lots of crochet things, so looking at you, woman. But this is House of Langford. It's not going to focus. Come on. Focus please. There we go. This is from House of Langford. And you can just about see the depth of the purple in there. This is a pendant that I bought for my friend for her birthday. And then I forgot that I wanted to order it and bought her gin. So now she's got gin and a pendant. But look at the detail. Even on the back, there's detail there. So it's just absolutely beautiful. So that's houseoflangford.co.uk. She's just started her shop, her new website, and it is fantastic. She does project bags and stitch markers and jewellery, and you really should go and check it out. So please do. So what else is new in other news? Well, Not a lot really. I am actually going to have some time to myself this coming week. So I won't be as active on Instagram, and I won't be doing any live dye sessions from the dye studio this week because I'm going to be taking a week to myself to try and get my house and my life a bit more in order. I'm one of these people that sometimes feels quite overwhelmed by the amount of things that they've got to do. I know lots of people probably feel the same, and I just want to clear the decks and take a whole week. You know, not a makecation. I won't be sat on my bum knitting and crocheting all the things because I've got lots of bits and bobs I want to do here. Lots of DIY type stuff. Now, I'm by no means a DIY expert, but I'm going to have a good go. So this room's going to get painted, hopefully, because we had it all decorated. This is actually fairly recent. It's only a few years. But we had then discovered damp, so we had damp treatments. So the other half of the room has been waiting to be painted. So I've got some paint samples up on the walls because we can't get these colours again. So we're going to be doing that, painting the bedroom, doing the hall, fixing some floorboards, hopefully, and this is the one I'm really excited about, hopefully fixing up the kitchen. Yeah, I'm really excited about sorting out the kitchen, ready for me to destroy it again by dyeing in there. Yeah, so I just want to get the house tidy and the place in order and just feel a little bit more in control and on top of things, because it's all been getting a little bit on top of me lately. And I don't know, obviously I try and keep things positive, but at the same time it's important to keep things real. And we are in lockdown 3.0 and we have got light at the end of the tunnel and people are being vaccinated and lives may be able to start returning a little bit to normal from April and May, which is fantastic. But right here, right now, it's still a little bit tough. And yeah, this little, I just keep looking at him because he's so peaceful. He's fast asleep here. There we go. That is one sleepy puppy. So, without further ado, I think that is that for this week. A little bit thin on the ground perhaps, but there will be lots more to share with you next week when I come back. So in the meantime, I hope you have a lovely week making all the things, and yeah, I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.